Hey, 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 what's going on? I hope everything is fine. I want to say also, like, for anyone who was affected by Hurricane Matthew, um, I hope that, you're finding better days ahead. Because, like, to be honest with you, that's really the first time I've been in like a hurricane situation like that. Like, I mean, I live in North Carolina, we have hurricanes all the time, but this one, and the craziest thing was, it was the aftermath of the hurricane in a way that really got everybody. Yeah, guys, so like, I'm sorry, my scenery background is kind of junky. I'm blaming it on Hurricane Matthew. Okay, so what am I talking about today? Like, I wanted to talk about something in specific. Okay, yeah. What's going on now? What's going on now in the world, in these energies? Like, I'm gonna tell you something. Like, the people that I've been working with previously, they've been telling me, like, look, for some reason I'm just like loads of tired, right? Can't get enough sleep, or it feels like I go in these deep sleeps, and I don't know, like, what is that about? Don't even feel like doing anything. I'm telling you, I can completely relate. I really can. Okay, a lot of people, and this is 2016. This is October 2016, almost about to be November. A 9 year. The endings for a lot of things. Because, once you get real deep in it, you tired. Is everything okay with my mouth? Once you tie different astrological events and, you put, like, coordinate that all into details, then you see why this is just like such an important time. And this is the thing, like, I'm into astrology and everything, but I really don't give a lot of the detailings and, like, what's behind what's going on with everything, just pinpointed exactly astrological wise, because, like, the information I give, I don't want it to just be dated to a certain astrological event, but those astrological alignments has a very big effect on what's going on. I will say that, but so I kind of wanted to talk about Ascension, because I want to say this, guys. Look for 2017 to just be new everything, okay? And does that mean that, like, you're just gonna wake up on January the 1st and and I'm gonna be honest with you, really, technically, astrologically, the first the new year starts in the spring, in March. Um, so you gotta keep that in mind too. But yeah, it's not like you're just gonna get up and say, like, everything's new, but at the same time, it's just gonna be new energy. It's gonna be right now. I want to say this. I feel like it's okay to be kind of tired. I feel like it's okay to just, not really know everything. As a matter of fact, if you feeling right now that you don't really know everything and there's more for you to know, and, like, you don't have the all the answers, you're in a good place, because that's what's going to help you. Sitting here being fixed, knowing it all, acting like what you say goes, that has to be true, is not beneficial in these days and times. It's just not. If anything, it's just going to prevent you from further development, But needless to say, give yourself this time. Like, me, I'm gonna give you, for example, me. I've been doing, like, little milestones for myself here and there. I see where I have it going in the future already, which is probably many of you probably already know. And if you don't get too bogged down about it. It's like levels to this ish. It is. The thing about it is, and, like, for the people who don't really get that and say no, there's not, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, it always is. That's the way the universe works. Like, as above, so below. Where do you think that we get the concept down here from? When we look at hierarchy. It's nothing wrong with hierarchy. It's where the problem comes in is when you have a demented, twisted, evil, egotistical hierarchy in place. And you have those people that say, it's impossible to have like government hierarchy and stuff like that without it being evil and twisted. Nah, I beg to differ. I think that, when it comes to money and material, and if that's what the basis of everything lies on, then that's where you're gonna get people being thirsty and doing whatever they can to keep in power and in control. But I don't believe everybody is like that. It just depends. So okay. But so yeah, I'm saying it's levels to this. So really, what am I meaning? Okay. So yes, like on a wide scale, okay, on a wide scale of things, okay, we are the energy that's presenting itself, because you got to think of terms as like the energy that's playing out, in the universe is presenting new knowledge, new information. It's not really new. I will have to say this, because remember that saying, it's nothing new under the sun. It's not really new, but it's new to us, okay, or a lot of beings that's not aware of this. Because remember, like if you look at some of my other videos where I was saying that where there are people where there's souls, there's advanced souls, there is like, I know my origin, I know what I am, and I know what it was before I took human form. Okay, so I know that information. So I'm saying, keeping that in mind, there's different levels. You don't just go and become something from one day to the next. You can, when it comes, like, let's say that you feel, if you change your thought process and you're like, okay, one day I feel like I'm nothing, the next day I feel like I'm something. But that's not what I'm talking about. And the thing about it, I'm telling you, I don't call myself a new ager. I don't, because honestly, I feel like this. I do understand we're going into a new age, meaning like a different one. That's what I'm translating it as, really. I don't really get into necessarily like new age to where it is publicized as you do what you want, you step over other people's boundaries, because I know that the universe doesn't work that way. I absolutely know that it doesn't. I mean, you got Saturn sitting over here, Godfather. That doesn't happen, And I've actually seen videos, okay, to where someone said that forget everything. Now I'm a firm believer of like, yeah, you're not gonna be doing things the same. But I'm sorry, my phone was ringing. I heard someone say you should forget other people's boundaries, and like there's no such thing as that. That's Neptune all day. That is when you're not balanced and you're diving or you're dipping over too much into a specific energy, and you're in that, okay, and you're not balancing yourself out. Because like if I paint this picture for you guys, and you're sitting there, you're sitting across from me, and I come over and I just like a complete stranger and I just sit on your lap, or I slap you because that's what I felt like doing, or I even give you a hug and you didn't want that. You didn't ask me for a hug. You didn't invite me in for a hug. That is overstepping your boundaries, right? Okay, so how could someone say, yeah, just overstep their boundaries? See, that's new age rhetoric, or whatever you want to call it, to where I think like a bunch of people are talking out of their rear end and they don't really understand it, like exactly what's going on, and they're giving, it's not misinformation, but it's not information that would be identifiable with all like the masses of people. It just wouldn't, so that's what I mean when I'm saying like you just won't wake up and then you'll be able to step over somebody else's boundaries. Now that's not realistic, okay? But I am saying that there will be change. It needs to be, and the universe is already aligned itself with that energy for that change. So now, you ever heard that saying, like, when I walked outside, it just there was something in the air? That's what it's like. And these people, it's kind of like going and just like hitting people, and then people are just like waking up a little bit and being like, okay, so where have I been? What have I been doing all this time? What is this? That's what it feels like. And now they're trying to educate, which is what the Aquarian would do, because this is the Aquarian age we're talking about. They're trying to educate themselves on who they are, who we are, our existence, So, yeah, there will be more people that's aware that they are intuitive beings because you're spiritual. And there will be people, yeah, that's understanding of that, but that does not, and everybody will be equal, because, see, that's just equal. Everybody be equal in getting that energy and receiving it. It's not like you won't have a chance to receive it, but for me to just sit here and say that you go from one soul being, remember, to like another one without getting there, without, like, I've never really known the earth or anything to really work without sacrifice, the art of sacrifice. Like, if you think about it, in order for you to get like a degree, then you have to sacrifice your time and energy to study and to learn the material and graduate, right? In order for you to learn how to ride a bike, you might have to fall a couple times, get scraped up before you just learn how to ride without training wheels, right? So that means you sacrificed something, right? Okay. How is it that I would be willing to come here, learn what I have to learn, or awaken to, do my spiritual journey, get that accreditation, all right, and then, get ordained to the next level, or whatever I get, spiritually, soulfully, on the soulful level, or whatever. 3D people might, through looking at it in a 3D lens, then yeah, of course, that may not be picked up. Like an average everyday person that's living kind of clueless to who they are, they may not be able to pick it up, but it's picked up energetically wise, And like, how would someone that has just completely, that's not, like, they came here, they're another soul entity, they're living out a whole nother existence, yeah, that's according to them and what they have to learn, what they have to do. How do they jump from their level to my level? Or how do I jump from my level to somebody else's level without doing the work? That's not that. Come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta. That is part of the harm in listening and completely taking in somebody and all of the information. That's hazardous. You have to be able to discern what would make sense and what doesn't. And then I'll see people saying this stuff, and I'll see like a bandwagon of people hopping on and agreeing. And I'm like, you don't even know, like, what if this person is saying is true? You simply heard them say it and took it on for yourself. And I'm sorry, but this is really just rampant. It's like you go from one thing to the next, like a religion, to some other thing that you focus your belief in and limit yourself to. Just because, like, that's not necessarily the answer. I'm not going to call you wrong, because, like I said, it's certain levels and stages to it. I'm not going to call you wrong, but I'm just saying, have an open mind. And just because someone says have an open mind, it doesn't mean like they're saying like go sniff cocaine. You know what I'm saying? You have to have discernment to what you're having an open mind about. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's think about this for a minute. Like, it almost gets to the point of where, like, people are turning on their cameras and saying, "Oh, I was guided to say this and that. My guide said to tell you guys this and you gotta do that." So if someone turned on their camera, had ecstasy pill, and said smash up and snorted it, my guide said for you guys to get the full effect, smash up this ecstasy pill and snort it. Would you do that? Their guides told you to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm all too aware of like the whole guide thing and everything, but I wanted to get this completely straight with many of you. You gotta understand, one person's guide and what they have to say in the news that they're carrying don't make that true for what you have to do and what your guides are giving you for your own life and your own path. And how do you know? Like, how do you know that you can trust what these people guys are saying? Like, you can even use this against me if you want. I don't care. But I'm just 100 enough to tell you that not to listen to everything I say 100% completely. Like, if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sitting here saying, okay, this is the end all be all, like some people do. And the twin flame thing, it's on 100. It's on 100. And like, if there's any twin flames that listen to this, I'm going to say this and I will repeat again and again and again. And I was saying this like from the beginning, since I've been doing twin flame videos, when I was pretty much led not to tell people how to get in union, but to deliver the new template of understanding the breakdown. That's what I was pretty much led to do. So a lot of my information was out there and a lot advanced because people hadn't really wakened to that. They were just scurrying trying to get into union. So that anybody that was predicting that, even though it didn't happen, for some it did, that's the bandwagon they were getting on. Now, after all of that dust has settled and people are coming back to their understanding of the fact that it wasn't going to be predicted like that, you know what I'm saying, on a mass level, now they're coming back to some more realistic ideas of what's going on. And I said the whole time, the physical is what you cannot forget about. We know that 5D exists. We know that the other realms, but the physical is what you cannot forget about, because this is where we're at right now as a particular being. Okay. Yes, I understand there's other dimensions in living out, but right now I'm aware of myself in this form. Okay. So that being said, you know, it's only a matter of time. And I'm like, yeah. And one of like my clients told me she heard a video to where I was like, I deleted some of my videos. I did. That was me in the past. I did. You know, and she was like saying, dang, I don't understand. And she was like, you were giving out so much information and I just don't really understand why you deleted them. And I was like, I don't understand either. I said, because I guess when it seems like it's in a boat or something and you're swimming against this current, and then like all these other people are saying it has to be this way, but just like one or two people may be coming out saying, okay guys, remember reality, and people are like, no, completely just forget about reality because that doesn't exist anymore, and it's you can't think about it in a logical way. I understand that, but that doesn't mean that my mind is gone. I feel like it's one thing to try to analyze something in a logical way to which you always knew to be logical, and another thing to be open to what another form of logic. That doesn't mean that you dismiss all logic necessarily. It's just saying dismiss logic the way that you know it. But like when I work with people, I have to talk to them in terms of the way they understand it. You know, I understand that now. But yeah, like, you know, I was like, yeah, I could have left the videos because I know that people are going to be coming and waking up to more stuff and they're going to need those videos, you know. So I said I'm going to redo a lot of subjects that I talked about and I deleted. I'm going to redo that. And one of the biggest ones that I'm going to tell you, I did 2 videos on this and I deleted both of them, is Neptune. Yeah. That Neptune, I get you. But at the same time, I wouldn't discredit everything Neptune. It's not that people say it's just illusions and it's fantasy. No, not necessarily. Not always. You know, it's just very powerful. And you just have to know how to separate illusion and fantasy from what's real. And the thing about it is, what could be real, what could seem like illusion or fantasy to others may be real and can be real to you in your life, and that's where it gets tricky, you know. But nonetheless, yeah. So it's just really about discernment. But you know, even with leading up to the whole new age thing, like I was saying, there's nothing new under the sun because it isn't. It's just new to us at this particular time. Okay, and point blank period. And it's another age. It's different from Piscean age or whatever, but It's not anything new necessarily. And like, yeah. Yeah. So where does that lead me, or where is this all going? Because, I think that a lot of people, in awakening and becoming more aware of things, and like this certain thing, the biggest thing that I feel like has been effective for people is their security. Because once your foundation into that you built around security, that you were believed was security and was security at the time, once that falls, then for some reason it affects your whole identity and everything around you, because then you start to see like, okay, well, this is not secure like I thought, or whatever the case may be. Well, it's not. And then I have people, like I said, like clients I work with, where they're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting called in this direction, but at the same time, like, it's not secure, or it's not like this 401k or retirement plan behind it. Okay, people, may I point your focus to the fact that World War II, when the whole thing popped off, the Germans entrusted the Jews with their money in these banks, and guess what? The Jews went off with the money in the banks. Hey, no pun intended to any Jews, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm telling you. And then that whole German system failed. Okay, they thought they had security in that. And the thing about it is, what people don't understand is that the people that are learning to live in a whole different way than what we've always learned is actually preparing yourself for something that you don't even know that you're preparing yourself for, probably. Because you realize that there's really no security in that stuff that you thought was secure altogether. Right? What do you do then? Do you fall to pieces? Do you go out and commit suicide? Do you start robbing and killing other people? Or do you really realize that you're indeed the person that's in control over the money? The money is not in control over you. The system is not in control over you. But because you won't wake up to see that, and because you like the sense of security that it portrays, nobody does anything about it. You just sit up helpless like, oh my gosh, we can't do anything. Oh my gosh, my 9 to 5. Oh my gosh, my $10 an hour job and I'm barely making it. Does that make sense? No. But because it seems secure, everybody just deals with it. And because the way it's organized, and some people may feel a lot more secure than others, nobody does anything about it. But it's up to you guys. Like, when you guys really get tired, or when it hits the fan, right? Because the first thing I'm looking around, I always be looking around for my cards, and then I put them away. The first thing I think about is a tarot card. Like, when you don't get it, and like you keep getting those ones, until finally things are just pulled up from up under you, and then it's like you don't got no choice. Okay. That's what I sense, It's like, okay, when you really don't have a choice, then that's when you do something. And that's where security doesn't lie. Like, if anything, I've noticed that, okay, I've learned to live without certain things, and just was like, okay, what I'm gonna have, because I'm gonna get it. It's gonna be a way made for me to get it, even if I make the way myself. But if I don't, then I don't. You see what I'm saying? Because you realize, like, the money doesn't make you, the things don't make you, how you obtain it and all that. That doesn't really make you. You made all of that possible, like the magician. So I'm gonna stop there because it's getting a little timely. But I'm gonna continue on because I had stopped making videos. I've been busy, but I feel like the majority of people I work with, they don't really come to me for reasons. And I work with a lot of people that are awakened and they want to know the next level. So, I'm focusing more on like the kids. That's what I'm really, come January, that's probably what, like, majority of what I'm going to be into, but I like to keep this up too, because since I get a lot of, I'm definitely a channeler, since I get like a lot of information just right into me, I would like to share it, anyways. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up the fact, about like the sense of security. What is it really? Can you guys just ask yourself the question, what makes you secure? Then turn around and see. I'm talking about, like, don't try to get all brainy with it in advance. Let's do like normal stuff that you've been using as security on a daily basis. Let's do that. Try that. Ask yourself, like, what do you find security in? And then challenge yourself around, are those things really secure? Okay? Because if you haven't found like that security within yourself, then you're going to fall apart right along with everything else that falls apart. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, if you watch this video and you would like to like talk with me or speak with me, like I speak with people on a daily basis, trust me. I haven't got this on my website yet about the fact that I'm doing 30-minute phone conversations, readings and stuff like that now. But I advertised it, but I haven't got it on my site or whatever. But I am 30 minutes is a good time. Like I do an hour or two, but you know, that's more, but 30 minutes is a good time. And right now in March, I'm offering a deal, $40. Yeah. For 30 minutes. It could be phone, it could be video just like this. You know, you can ask me the questions that you need to ask me and I deliver it just like this. And just email me at butterfly2light11@gmail.com and we can get you set up for something. But yeah, security. Ask yourself the question. Is what you have security in, what you found security in, is that really secure? And until next time, peace.